And quick recap. Tulsi Gabbard, the person who I was rooting for, I even gave money to her, showed maybe, I think her highest showing was like a 1.5 in one place. She should just drop out and endorse Bernie. The big thing that happened was it turned out that Quid Pro Joe had a big night. Yeah, what happened was it turned out that his victory in South Carolina really helped him, on top of Steyer dropping out, and on top of Klobuchar dropping out and endorsing him, on top of Buttigieg dropping out and endorsing him. And you would think that from the win from South Carolina on Tuesday or Saturday the 29th to Super Tuesday on Tuesday the 3rd, his win in South Carolina really wouldn't materialize much because there's only like 2 or 3 days. No one would notice, but that wasn't the case. People got the message that the centrist candidates, Klobuchar and Buttigieg, were dropping out and endorsing them, and the centrist Democrats came out in full force behind Quid Pro Joe. They got the message. Like I said earlier, the only thing that was helping out Bernie was the fact that Bloomberg was in there, because Bloomberg was definitely taking votes from Quid Pro Joe Biden. Well, that all changed after Bloomberg spent close to $500 million, and I think the highest he ever got was a third-place finish. I don't even think he got a second-place finish anywhere. So I guess he struck a deal with the Biden camp, and today, the day after Super Tuesday, today, Wednesday the 4th, Bloomberg dropped out and endorsed Biden. So now Bloomberg is going to, and his people are going to back Biden. And not just with the votes, they're going to back him with Bloomberg's big, heavy, deep pockets. So imagine that, Quid Pro Joe getting the big billionaire money. That's going to give Bernie Sanders even more fodder. But going to Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, I said earlier that in the last video that if Pocahontas didn't finish first in her home state, she should drop out. Well, she finished third, behind Bernie and Biden, who won the state. Biden, who I think spent like $12,000 there in campaigning, no joke, won the whole damn state. And I also said that if Elizabeth Warren weren't to drop out, weren't to win her state, and didn't drop out, that she was taking her marching orders from Quid Pro Joe and the DNC establishment. Well, that appears to actually be the case, because Bloomberg was quick to drop out. She got humiliated in her home state, and she's still not dropping out. Of course, she would say, "Oh, I'll take some time." It took Klobuchar 2 days. I say if she doesn't drop out by Friday, yes, you could confirm my status that she is taking directives from Quid Pro Joe's campaign to the DSC corporate establishment. Because there is no reason for her to stay in. Her campaign's running out of money. She actually unionized her employees, which could even make it even more expensive for her to stay in the race. And no one's going to donate to her, because, of course, she has no chance in hell winning. She doesn't even look viable at this point. The only reason she's going to stay in is to hurt Bernie Sanders. Well, you have Bloomberg out, and so the whole establishment wing of the Democrat Party is going to be rallied behind Quid Pro Joe. That leaves Tulsi Gabbard, who I said earlier, who has 1%. She should just drop out and endorse Bernie, give him her 1%. Yeah, yippee. And I don't even think anyone's worried about that. But Warren staying, the longer she stays in here, the more it's going to hurt Bernie. If you look at the 6 states coming up, North Dakota, Missouri, Michigan, Mississippi, Washington, Idaho. These are all states. Three of these states, 6 states, Bernie is definitely going to win. He, for some reason, does really poorly in the South, but really great in like Midwest and Central states. Well, I remember reading years ago an article, and I think it's still true, that the biggest states, the most youngest populations, the states with the youngest populations, that the youngest people just so happen to be Midwest Central states, like Idaho, Colorado, Utah. States of Bernie won real big in 2016 and is going to do real well now. So I definitely is going to win Idaho. Just giving a Quid Pro Joe moment there. Definitely going to win Idaho. Nebraska, and Idaho, North Dakota, and Washington. He's definitely going to win those states, no doubt about it. Missouri, Mississippi has no chance in hell. He sucks in the South. He did win Michigan in 2016. However, I don't think he's going to have as easy of a time, especially if Warren's in the race. And Missouri, I think, is a 50-50 shot between him or Biden. I say if Warren stays in, you might as well just give Michigan and Missouri to Quid Pro Joe right now. Warren staying in will probably hand Quid Pro Joe those states. So that's the only reason she is staying in. And if she doesn't drop out by Friday and is in it by next Tuesday the 10th, if she's in the race, by Tuesday the 10th, rest assured she's taking directives from Quid Pro Joe. Now, as I said earlier, our campaign's running out of money, but I wouldn't be surprised if some big corporate Biden donor give her some little extra money just to stay in there long enough to screw things over for Bernie. That would probably be a wise thing to do by a pro-Biden super PAC, just to give her campaign more money, just to fund it for a few more weeks to screw Bernie out of the delegate count. As it is right now, the delegate count I've seen, it's 1991 to win. So far, Biden has 566 and Bernie has 501. I think that's really not that big of a lead in terms of delegates, but Biden is up in the popular vote by a good 900,000 votes. Now you hear that all these Democrats and progressives on both sides of the DNC spectrum whine a bitch. Oh, Trump didn't win the popular vote. We need a popular vote for democracy. You're the Democratic Party. If you're so damn concerned about the fucking popular vote, then eliminate not just the super delegates, but all the fucking delegates altogether. Eliminate them all and go strict popular vote. And the winner of the popular vote, boom, gets your nominee. If you want the country to be democratic, I think lead by example and make your own party democratic. Make the Democratic Party more democratic. Until then, shut the fuck up about having a popular vote in a general election. Because if you can't put your money where your mouth is in your own fucking primary, then you have no grounds at all to talk about getting rid of the electoral college and going straight to a popular vote. But with that being said, Biden is up by 900,000 votes. Or he's up by only 60 delegates. Delegates is a thing here. Bernie won big in California. I got him, but he didn't win that big. He only beat Quid Pro Joe by less than 10 points, which really isn't a big showing for him. But that's where he got a majority of his delegates. But if he has a good showing in Michigan, even if Elizabeth Warren stays in, or even if she doesn't, he's definitely going to come in second in Michigan and Missouri. If he has a strong showing there and doesn't get beat by that big of a delegate margin, and wins and doesn't lose, and he'll lose Mississippi pretty badly. He lost Alabama really bad by like 50 points, like 63-14 or something. So he's going to lose at least. He's going to lose at least. Biden's going to gain on that, maybe like 30 or 40 delegates there. He might gain, but if Bernie keeps it real close in Missouri and Mississippi and Michigan, Biden might be able to cut Biden down to like 100 net delegates on top of, and if he wins his other three states, which I think he will, he might win by get another 40. So it probably would win, but his best shot of closing the gap on Biden, if not taking the lead, is if he wins Michigan like he did 4 years ago and has a strong showing in Missouri. If in that scenario, if he wins Michigan, I think he would be able to take the lead from Biden by maybe like 20 delegates. If he wins Michigan, keeps it close in Missouri, he might be able to take it. But in order for that, he might be able to take a slight lead in delegates by Biden by like maybe 20, no more than 50, I would say. Again, I'm doing this math on top of my head, but I think Biden lose. I think Biden's going to lose. I think Biden's definitely going to lose those 3 states. But this all is a predicate. The only way Bernie has a snowball's chance in hell in Michigan, or even have a snowball's chance in hell of staying in competitive Missouri, is if Elizabeth Warren drops out. But we'll see. As I said, if she doesn't drop out, if Pocahontas doesn't drop out by Friday, of course, she needs some time to decide or whatever. And her campaign magically gets money, and she's not only taking directives from the Quid Pro Joe's campaign and the DNC establishment, she might even be taking corporate money from them. Shows how big of a hypocrite this fake Native American is. But hey, can you ever? So I guess maybe she's the real lying dog-faced pony soldier.